Have you heard about hypoxia? Try to gather information about it and discuss with your friends. So students, now let us learn about the term hypoxia and we'll try to find out the reasons why hypoxia happens. So hypoxia is a condition characterized by inadequate or decreased supply of oxygen to the lungs. So when there is a decreased supply of oxygen in the lungs, it leads to a condition called hypoxia. It is caused by several factors such as reduction in the partial pressure of oxygen, or there is less concentration of oxygen, etc. We'll see what are the different types of hypoxia. First one is hypoxemic hypoxia. So in this condition, there is reduction in the oxygen content of a blood due to the low partial pressure of oxygen in the atrial blood. So when there is low partial pressure of oxygen in the atrial blood, the oxygen does not diffuses and therefore it leads to hypoxemia. And the second one is anemic hypoxia. In this condition, again there will be reduction in the concentration of oxygen due to less hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is one protein which helps in transportation of oxygen. So if oxygen has to diffuse into the blood, it takes years to reach the tissue. So to increase the rate of transportation, hemoglobin is utilized. When the concentration of hemoglobin is less amount of oxygen will be transported. So this condition can also lead to hypoxia. Stagnant hypoxia. In this condition, there is deficiency in the oxygen content of the blood because of poor blood circulation. So the amount of oxygen is there, but hemoglobin is also there, but the heart is not working properly. There is a poor circulation and therefore because of which the concentration of oxygen will be less. And this can take place when the person is exposed to cold temperature for a prolonged period of time. So when we are exposed to cold temperature, the functioning of the heart has been reduced, circulation becomes poor and therefore the oxygen content in the blood becomes less. Histotoxic hypoxia. So histo means it is something related to the tissue. In this condition, tissues are unable to use oxygen. So oxygen concentration is more in the blood, the heart is working properly, hemoglobin number is also correct. Everything is correct, but still the tissue is unable to utilize the oxygen. And this can happen when there is a presence of carbon monoxide and cyanoid in the blood. So the carbon monoxide and cyanoid, these are respiratory toxic substances. So they inhibit the transportation of oxygen and take-up of oxygen by the tissues. Therefore, the tissue can die in the absence of oxygen. So this condition is called as histotoxic hypoxia. So all these factors leads to the less concentration of oxygen in the blood. So this is about hypoxia and different factors or different reasons why hypoxia can happen.